Hey everyone, it's Luke here from LT Gaming and welcome back to the channel. X4 just handed you the keys to a different kind of power, the kind that wins wars without anyone noticing you were there. With the Envoy Pack landing alongside the free 8.00 diplomacy update later this year, the game pivots from brute force to influence. You can cloak, counterfeit, and cut deals that ripple across the map. And if you're like me, half the joy is still parking in your station and just watching the port hum, freighters lifting, couriers arriving, escorts peeling off, while your plans move quietly in the background. X4 really is developing into that dream sandbox, and I'm really impressed with how far Egosoft have come with this title. It really amazes me, to be honest. The game launched to sort of a mixed reception, and now it's making absolute strides, and we love covering it here at LT Gaming. X4 remains the living economy space sim where every ship and credit is simulated, but 8.00 finally turns diplomacy into a real lever. Agents, embassy-facing mechanics, and covert operations now sit on top of the same trade, build, fight, think sandbox. So an indirect or pacifist route isn't a side hobby anymore, it's a decisive playstyle. And if you already own X4 and you're interested in the diplomacy update, you can jump into the beta right now. And yes, for all those pronunciation experts in the comments below, I said beta correctly from where I'm from in the world. But me and Tom have a great laugh at some of the mistakes we make around pronunciation, so we don't take ourselves too seriously here. Headlining this new DLC is the Envoy, an M-class frigate engineered for infiltration, recon, and misdirection. It meaningfully shortens agent operation times, lets you suppress your radar profile with a dedicated cloak stance, and even camouflage your ship's identity to delay detection. Combine that with 8.00's agent networks and you get true cloak and dagger loops. Slip past a blockade, plant assets, exfiltrate clean, or set up a false flag moment and make a border change look like an accident. The Envoy ship itself is the Star, a slick mid-sized frigate co-developed by the Argon and Taladi that arrives with exclusive engines, shields, and forward weapons, plus something X4 rarely gives ships of this class, a fully explorable interior. Although I have to say X4 has some great ships you can walk around, it's not quite on the level of Star Citizen, but it's a lot better than titles like Elite Dangerous, which still haven't implemented this feature. You board via a dockside ramp and can actually walk the corridor all the way to the cockpit, which sells the submarine in space vibe immediately. Out in the black, the Envoy's cloak stance shifts your whole rhythm. You will handle more nimbly and shed your signature, but you give up teeth while you're quiet. Turrets retract, weapons go cold, and your top speed and boost take a hit. So it's about timing, patience, and picking the exact second to break cover. To deepen the deception game, faction camouflage lets you project the look and feel of other powers, which buys you moments of confusion at checkpoints or sets up those delicious "wait, whose ship is that?" encounters. There's also a rogue sibling called the Cypher, faster, more agile, and fully compatible with the Envoy's exclusive kit. If the Envoy is the prestige operator, the Cypher is the hot rod variant you throw into risky raids or quick hit strikes. Wrapping it all up is a new mission chain that leads you to the Envoy, a brand new game start to drop you straight into the storyline, a new sector to scout and exploit, and fresh music to score the whole thing, and we really love the X4 music here. Meanwhile, the free 8.00 diplomacy update is the system's pass that makes all of this sing. Agents are now serious tools, the embassy layer matters, and your influence operations have viable consequences on faction relationships, trade lanes, and ultimately, who holds what on the map. This is a real game changer for X4. Just a quick interlude to say most of you who watch the channel are not subscribed, so make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button because it helps smaller channels like us grow really quickly, and both me and Tom really appreciate it. Stealth here is a choice, not a buff. When you're cloaked, you're committing to infiltration over firepower. Get greedy and you'll find out the hard way that the Envoy isn't a brawler until it decloaks. Performance in X4 can still wobble on large saves or busy sectors, especially once the sim reaches late game scale, and any big systems update can arrive with rough edges. This often takes 1 or 2 patches to fix. So if you live for open throttle fleet brawls and boarding actions, you need to expect a mindset shift with this DLC. If you're still looking for comparisons to other space sims, think of Elite Dangerous for the cockpit feel and travel flow, but swap in a far deeper empire and economy backbone. Picture No Man's Sky for the sense of discovery, then layer on a persistent simulated supply chain where your factories actually change prices, patrol routes, and influence wars. Compared to Star Citizen, X4 is less about fidelity per asset and more about owning the entire strategic layer. Fleets, stations, markets, all at once. And if you're an old freelancer fan, you're getting on a bit now. The Envoy Pack scratches that reputation and deception itch. Only now your choices scale up to full-blown geopolitical outcomes. Even against EVE Online, X4's unique trick is you can do just about anything. You don't just order the op, you physically fly the ship and then watch the economy react. Now, shifting gears a little bit, I'd like to feature a Star Wars mod that I've been really enjoying with X4. Star Wars Interworlds rebuilds X4 into a galaxy far, far away. New factions, ships, sectors, starts, and tech pacing. It's not a stealth add-on, it's a full alternate X4 where you live out Rebel or Imperial logistics and warfare with the same simulation depth. Expect different production chains, altered progression, and a very different political map. It requires all the major DLCs, so check the mod page for current requirements, scan the start descriptions to pick a faction identity that matches your fantasy, and always confirm compatibility after big patches like 8.00 before you throw 40 hours at a save. Now, I couldn't get this to work with anything other than 7.60, so that's what I'd recommend. If you're not sure how to do that, you can roll back to different versions of X4 in the Steam Beta tab. This is just a really fun feature as part of this video, so you know you can add more to your X4 experience. If you'd like me to do a full video on the mod, I'm happy to do so. Plus, I've got some more Star Wars content on the way as I'm totally enjoying that IP at this current time. Let me clarify that, not the Disney era stuff. I'm very much an expanded universe guy. I'm back into all those novels, enjoying what Star Wars could have been. Currently reading Luke Skywalker and the Shadows of Mindor, if you know that book. And I did reach out to EgoSoft for an official comment on the mod. They declined, saying they didn't want to touch someone else's IP. But the person I spoke to did say they really enjoy the mod, off the record of course. Right, let's get back and summarize the new DLC pack. If you loved X4's Empire Sim Heart but wanted the power to move pieces without firing first, this is your moment. Park on the observation deck, watch the pad cycle and let your envoy turn diplomacy into outcomes you can see on the map. That's the Envoy Pack, Spycraft, finally baked into X4's living sandbox. It's going to be coming later this year, and also, if you're quick, X4 is currently on sale until the 18th of August. If this video lit that fire to play X4 again, or even pick the title up, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. I'm Luke, this is LT Gaming, fly safe, cloak smarter, and I'll see you on the observation deck watching those pads cycle.